And welcome to Psychos and Sociopaths. Today we're going to take in, because we hadn't had that much time to correlate much this week, we're going to do the one guy I told everybody I wouldn't do, and it's Albert Fish, as in Fish. If you actually want to research this guy.
Albert Fish is a rather dapper-looking fellow with a large cranium. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop doing that now.
No. Keep it up. Keep it up. I want to see if you can do it through the whole episode.
So you want me to channel my inner Tom Hardy and talk like Bane through the entire episode?
Now, Albert Fish was born in Washington, D.C. on May 19th, 1870 to Randall and Ellen. His father was 43 years older than his mother and was 75 years old at the time of his birth. So it was, September, November?
Where he gets his pedophilia tendencies from, is his father.
Well, it was 1870s. So they always.
I'm sorry, I can't do that. Whole damn episode.
See, there you go. Can't do it.
Now, if you want to
drop the ball
and ask me to do my Sean Connery throughout the entire episode, that's an entirely different cup of tea, my friend.
But
this is not a comedy show.
Yeah, okay. It can be dark humor. Most of Fish's family was diagnosed with mental illness. His sister Annie was diagnosed with mental affliction. 3 other relatives were diagnosed with mental illness, and his mother had an aura and/or visual hallucinations. So, Fish's father, Randall, was a riverboat captain, and by 1870, a fertilizer manufacturer. But the thing about Albert Fish was the fact of, at age 20, Fish arrived in New York City, and said at that point he became a prostitute and began raping young boys. I don't know how you become a prostitute and rape, but anyways. His mother arranged a marriage for him and Mary Hoffman, who was 9 years his junior. They had 6 children, Albert and Gratitude. Around 1910, he was working in Wellington, Delaware. Fish met a 19-year-old man named Thomas Keene. He took Kidden, where he was staying, and the two began a sodomistic relationship. It was unclear whether or not Fish forced Keaton to do these things, but confessed he implied that the man was intellectually disabled. He was mentally challenged. Basically, on this note, this is what another researcher did. Dan Cummings did this guy on his Time Suck. And from what I researched after, because I was like, no, nobody could be this despicable. Albert Fish ate feces, drank urine. The mentally handicapped person he's talking to right now, Keaton, he literally had Keenan put needles in his rectum or penis, and he did the same thing to Keaton. They would like have sex. He was Albert Fish was one of those people that pain was a receptacle to him, to where he didn't get off unless he was in pain.
Hello.
Oh,
I accidentally fat thumb dialed you. That's all that was. Nope. All squares in the house. I just, like I said, it was just a fat thumb. Yes, sir. Told you he was going to call me back.
I know. But he basically took him to something called a old farm house, and he began torturing him. And every once in a while, he would have him torture Fish. Keep on wanting to say Finch, but Fish kept on torturing this 19-year-old man, and he also ended up having him torture him. And they would eat feces, each other's feces. It was just that's gold bull. So,
bringing a whole new level of meaning to the term shit pump.
Oh no, it's even worse than that. The reason, okay, he would call the feces peanut butter. If you listen to Dan, if you want to hear something that's really entertaining, watch Dan Cummings or listen to his podcast.
Now I don't want to eat peanut butter.
Dude, I don't want to eat peanut butter anymore. It got me to that point where I would never eat peanut butter. But in January 1917, Fish's wife left him for John Stone, a handyman who boarded with Fish's family. Sorry, my allergies. I try to clear it, and I'm still stuffy. Fish then had raised his children as a single parent. After his arrest, Fish told newspapers that when his wife left him, she took nearly every possession he owned. He began to have auditory hallucinations. He once wrapped himself in a carpet, saying that he was following the instruction of John Apostle. But he embedded needles into his groin, which I said. But when he was arrested, X-rays revealed that Fish had at least 29 needles lodged in his pelvic region.
Huh.
Yeah.
Which might lead one to think, it's probably not a good idea to use your bowels as a pincushion if you're going to, eat, period.
No, it's worse. He also hit himself repeatedly with a nail-studded paddle and inserted wool doused in lighter fluid into his anus and set it on fire. Could you imagine if he farted?
While Fish was never thought to have physically attacked or abused his children, he did encourage them and their friends to paddle his buttocks with the same nail-studded paddle he used to abuse himself. He soon developed a growing obsession with cannibalism, often preparing himself a dinner consisting solely of raw meat and sometimes serving it to his children. You know what? I'm done.
Yeah.
This dude.
I told you.
Wow.
This guy is legitimately the most. This is the reason why I didn't want to do it. But I have this in my head now. Now you do too, and everybody that listens to us. I mean, this is how bad. When he was arrested, he decided to write the parents that he raped, the Grace Budd. He wrote her parents, stating that he might have killed her, but at least he didn't rape her like he did other women. So she died a virgin.
How very, what's the word I'm looking for? Magnanimous of him?
I guess it was.
Good night.
Yeah, he was a total douchebag, dude. He was a shit pump. He's like high on the shit pumpery. There's a lot of them that, he's like the gold standards of shit pumps. But yeah, he got a lot of his victims though, to where he basically got because at one point when he was living in New York, they were trying to get him. He was trying to get people to come in and audition for movies. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you'll be in showbiz," or as Dan Cummings does it, "Come on, everybody, we'll get you into showbiz." I can't do it like he does. He does it really good.
So he was basically casting couching people.
Yes, raping them and killing them and then eating them. But yeah, he did weird stuff. It's unimaginable that what the stuff that he did. But he was eventually caught, and he kept on saying that he claimed he heard voices from God tell him to kill children. Several psychotherapists testified that Fish's sexual fetishes, which included sadism, masculinism, flatulation, expedition, voyeur, all the sexual necrophilia. Mm-hmm. Basically, they're like, "Oh no, he's fucking nuts, and we need to get rid of him off of the face of the earth." Which he ended up being electrocuted.
Yeah.
But a chief expert witness was Frederick Wortham, a psychologist with an emphasis on child development, who conducted examinations for the New York criminal courts during 2 days testimony. Wortham explained Fish's obsession with religion and specifically his preoccupation with the biblical story of Abraham and Isaac. That Fish believed similarly sacrificing a boy would be penance for his own sins.
Sorry, the ALCS game 1 is tonight, and it's the Red Sox versus the Astros. So that's playing in the background right now.
Oh, yeah, my coworker told me about that one. He was like, "Hey, you gonna watch that baseball game?" It's like, no, I don't watch baseball. My co-host will, and he will inform me of all the good stuff that would be happening or not happening.
Yes, well, my girlfriend and her sister, who are Astros fans, are in smack dab in the middle of Red Sox Nation, visiting Boston, Massachusetts.
Welcome to your own personal hell, baby.
So they're either going to be watching it from the sanctity and quiet of their hotel room, where they're going to be out amongst the people, hearing, "Let's go Red Sox."
No, you got to do it right.
Huh?
You got to do it right. Let's go the Sox. The Sox is going to win this one.
Let me tell you something now, bud. Let me ask you something. Who are you? Who the fuck are you to tell me how the fuck they talk up there? How do you fucking know? You think you come in here, act all fucking smart? All you doing is regurgitating some shit that I read on when I was bored the other week. The next thing you know, later on, you're going to read something else and you're going to think that you're fucking smart. And you're going to pass that off as your own idea. Do you have an original thought in your entire fucking body? No, I don't think so. But, if you want, we could log off. We could go outside. We could talk about it after that.
No, we won't even log off. We'll just go outside, see who is man to man, and we'll come back in.
Now you've forgotten more about grappling level 1 and level 2 combatives than you probably know in your entire life.
See,
Plus, I don't fight fair.
This is the weird you. I am. I'm trying too hard.
You're trying too hard. It doesn't come off naturally.
I have to watch either The Departed or what's that other one? The Town.
Okay. All right. Fine. Go watch it. Then you can come back, try to talk that shit like you're from the South or something. All you're going to be is just an ignorant fucking toothless Southie.
Or
Nobody respects those
I
people.
could just listen to like Bill Burr for like 3 hours.
Do what now?
Just watch Bill Burr for like 3 hours.
I'm not saying that it's okay to hit a woman, but there's reasons. No. And just so that we know, we're clear. No, I do not advocate domestic violence. It's deplorable. No kind of a man puts his hands on a woman for any reason. Just kind of putting that out there.
Unless it's Chelsea, not Chelsea, but Hillary.
Yeah, unless it's like defending kids, then that's the only thing.
Or defending a nation if it's like
I digress.
Hillary Clinton. But no, he ended up just getting electrocuted. He was crazier than a shitbag. And I mean, he tried to get rid of out of that electric chair forever. And they did at a meeting with reporters after the execution. Fish's lawyer, James Dempsey, revealed that he was in possession of his client's final statement. This amounted to several pages of handwritten notes that Fish apparently penned in the hours just prior to his death. When pressed by the assembled journal to reveal the documents, he refused, stating, "I will never show it to anyone. It was the most filthy stirring and of obscurities that I've ever read." Could you imagine that? Someone going up, it's like, "Oh, what was his last words and everything?" I burnt them. I literally burnt them. They're in a fucking dumpster fire. I was afraid to piss on it because it might bring them back.
Yeah.
That's pretty deplorable person.
Most filthy string of obscenities that I have ever read. So this guy, he didn't want to be put to death. He was okay with the fact that he was a demented individual.
Yeah, and apparently this one was his entire family was crazy. So,
wow,
it's one of those things. It's that family's line should have been like wiped out of existence.
Left out, yeah.
Someone should have destroyed that bloodline. So, thoughts on this guy is basically we got to come up with something that just hands up on the like a deplorable like this guy.
There's got to be a new word that we can come up with. The one that we can get like not patented, but copyrighted.
I was thinking about
copywriting ship up.
That'd be funny. That'd be hilarious. We could, if we wanted to, copyright it. But no, I was talking to my coworker today about it. He's like, "Oh, so you do 3 episodes, 3 different shows?" I was like, "Yeah, I do 3 different shows. They don't have like a big audience and everything, but we're still going up there." And he was like, "Oh, that's cool. What are you talking about for this weekend?" I was like, "We didn't do any research. We didn't figure out who to do. So we're gonna do one guy that I didn't want to talk about." He's like, "Oh, who is it?" "Albert Fish." He's like, "I've never even heard that guy." I was like, "All right, this is the deal.
I've never even heard of that guy."
I was like, "This is the deal. You cannot just because I know about this guy." I was like, "Just because I know about this guy doesn't pawn on me." And he's like, "Okay, go ahead." And I told him the whole spiel about Albert Fish. He's like, "Oh my God, we are going to change the subject right now. Music is nice." And he was like, he just stared off in the distance driving to get to the job. So that's the end of Psychos and Sociopaths. Albert Fish. Thoughts in the comments of how crazy this guy was. I guess we'll talk to you next time. I'm David Dicker.
I'm Johnny Skelton. Keep it classy, San Diego. And go Red Sox.
All right. Thank you for watching.